Hello everyone and welcome back to the Danger Zone! Today we're going to be taking a look at Top Gun. Not this one. Maverick, the new one. So Top Gun Maverick is a sequel that has been in production for like 3 decades now, and about a month ago, I watched the first Top Gun for the first time ever, and let me just get my thoughts on this one out of the way. To put it in perspective, if this movie was a person, it's a movie that I would want to go to the beach and get like a burger and fries with. It's just such a warm, not necessarily a comforting movie, because there is some stuff that happens in it that's like, oh boy. But it's definitely a movie that I would like totally hang out. Actually, it would seem like it would be a jock, but it'd be one of the cool jocks, like one you want to hang out with. Solid 8.5 out of 10. Danger Zone! Now, Top Gun Maverick is the sequel, and it looked like it was going to be one of those sequels that didn't need to exist, because it is a sequel to a classic 80s movie, and usually those don't tend to necessarily capture the point well. I made a list on Letterboxd. Some other films are like Dr. Sleep, which actually did a great job at being a sequel like this. No Way Home was a sequel as a culmination. Force Awakens, Scream, Halloween 2018, all the Ghostbusters Afterlife, they were all sequels that kinda don't necessarily feel necessary in the grand scheme of things, and this is one of the ones that didn't necessarily feel necessary. I was still excited for it, of course I was, but it didn't necessarily feel like it needed to exist until I saw it. And oh my god, this is one of the greatest action movies ever. You don't even need to watch the first one to grasp onto what's going on. Now, of course, it would enhance your experience with this film incredibly, but it is a good movie. It's a spectacular movie. It's definitely one of the best. I think I placed it at my number 2 behind Everything Everywhere All at Once. Yeah, I was shocked when I walked out of the theater. I heard spectacular things about it, and I'm glad that it didn't disappoint. So, yeah, this video is going to be spoiler-free, don't worry. Tom Cruise, it does a spectacular job in this film. I was shocked because the first time I actually took him serious as an actor was in Magnolia, on the bedside, where he starts crying. I didn't realize, actually no, in the first interview scene, not the first, but an interview scene in Magnolia, where you can really see his subtle acting.
I'm quietly judging you.
He does a really good job in this film, because this film, the reason why seeing the first one would enhance it is like the idea of moving on from your past, which has been explored a lot. It's been explored in even Toy Story 3, but this film does a really good job with character work, which I was really shocked with. Even some of the new people who just seem like they're going to be stereotypical, look at me, I'm gonna be the mean guy trope, actually get some really good character moments. Something I want to talk about, let me get all my positives out of the way, is that even in the first 15 minutes, there are a couple shots that are beautiful. The first flight sequence has some of the best aerial footage that I've ever seen, and this is one that you need to see on a big screen. I did not see it in IMAX, unfortunately. I didn't get the chance to do that, but I saw it on a big enough screen to where my breath was taken away. It was absolutely stunning, and the opening sequence, yeah, I did get chills and stuff. I did have a really good theater experience because the laughs in this film did really well. Like, if there's a funny line, even one scene where I don't know if it was meant to be funny, we were all kind of cracking up, which I kind of like, because it shows that, like, even though it's not necessarily, I don't know if it was intentionally funny, they still did a good-ass job playing it off. It was meant to be a dramatic moment, it can now fix into a comedy moment. That's something in this film that I believe works really well. This film wasn't, not entirely, but it was mostly practical, like the flight sequences, and oh my god, whoa, I was absolutely shocked. I knew that going in, and seeing how intense some of those stunts were. God, this movie also is kind of the comeback of Miles Teller. I mean, he had The Offer, but ever since Whiplash, he was kind of on a low. He did like Divergent and Fan Stick. But yeah, he's kind of getting a comeback now, which I'm really happy to see, because in Whiplash he was spectacular, and I don't know how he is on The Offer, but in Top Gun Maverick, yeah, see, the thing is, this is a spectacular sequel, but also just a great action film on its own. The third act is one of the most intense, gripping, like, seat-gripping third acts ever, because I was actually literally on the edge of my seat. The flight sequences in the third act, and also just the really good character moments, it's so intense. And you kind of have a clue on how it's gonna play out. You're like, oh, it's action, gonna be a little bit pretty. No! It, like, completely twists it. And then, of course, it does get you, there are a lot of aha moments. But I absolutely love that they did not shy away from the fact that Tom Cruise is kind of old, but he's still good at what he does. Like, this movie, the reason why I say you don't have to watch the first one is because there aren't any, like, MCU repeating lines or any shots except for the opening sequences. It's nothing too heavy on the original. You could still completely get the plot, considering they talk back and some stuff. There's probably about one plot line that I think needs some previous explanation, but they do a good job at explaining that. Yeah, they don't, like, it still has the 80s sheen, still has the ripped men on the beach playing football, but yeah, there's only one part of this film that I believe does not work, and that is the romance between Pete Mitchell and Penny. I was about to call her Penny Carter. Nope. Yeah, no, that was not my thing. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I heard it was unnecessary, but I thought it was going to be a lot worse. But it's just, it very much slows down the second act. But the cinematography in this film is so good. I really like the cinematography in the first Top Gun for the most part, because, yeah. But this is one of the greatest action films of all time, and definitely one of the best films of the year. It was better than The Batman. So yeah, I think that's all. There wasn't like any nostalgia baiting with the hardcore 80s feel to it. It kind of felt very modern Top Gun, which I feel like this film needed to be, and I'm glad it took this long, because if this was the product we got out, it deserves it. The runtime it goes by fairly quickly. The first and third act go by fairly quickly. The second act is a lot slower because of the romance. But yeah, if you don't know my rating system, an 8 out of 10 to a 9 out of 10 is a golden ticket, and a 9.5 out of 10 to a 10 out of 10 is a trophy. I'm going to be giving Top Gun Maverick a solid 9 out of 10, which would be a golden ticket. I have no clue where the golden ticket itself is right now. That's why I haven't had it in previous videos. But yeah, so 9 out of 10. If you haven't seen Top Gun Maverick yet, go watch the first Top Gun. It is on Netflix, and I believe today's the second to last day because it's leaving tomorrow. And if not, go watch it on Paramount Plus, because it's a Paramount movie, so it's going to be on there for as long as it will be. I don't know, but go watch the first Top Gun if you feel like you need to. Go watch Top Gun Maverick in the theater while it still is in theater. Same thing with Everything Everywhere All at Once if you haven't seen that one yet. And that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay golden, everyone. Highway to the danger zone.